everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. My name is Katie Carson. I am the Duchess of Suds here on this channel, and today we will be making the third soap in the 2020 Secret Soap series. Now, if this is the first video of mine that you're seeing because the YouTube algorithm has decided to favor me, or if this is the first video of the series you're seeing, you want to stop right here, go back to the very beginning of the series, because as we progress, there will be hints at the end of the video, and so this video contains some hint spoilers, if you will. So go back to the beginning. I'll leave you guys a link in the upper right hand corner of the screen. If you don't know how the Secret Soap series works, I will wrap it up very quickly. Here at Royalty Soaps, we do a new collection theme every single month for the cold process soaps that we make. And this month, I'm not telling you what that theme is. I'm not telling you any of the colorants that I'm using, and I'm not telling you the fragrance oil. It is up to you guys to guess down in the comments below what you think I am attempting to create. Today's soap is a slab mold design, meaning I'm going to be making 52 bars at a time in one big slab mold, and there will be no soap frosting. So without further ado, let's make Secret Soap number 3. I will admit that today's soap design is the easiest one to technically perform, but it is by far the one I am most nervous about concerning color. I would not be surprised if I make this batch and the colors have to be tweaked, because it is very, very, very important to get them right. So I'm going to blend the lye water solution into my oils now using this Cuisinart stick blender. If you would like to use the recipe that I am using for my soap today, it is my classic Royalty Soaps recipe, and it is free down in the description box below. Okay, so the initial blending is done, so I am ready to pour off my first color. I'm actually going to be measuring this out in pounds today. This is sort of a heavy first layer. I have about 5 pounds of color in this, and here goes my first color. I'm also going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil blend. And it is time to mix this up on high until everything is fully incorporated. All right, let's pour this first layer into the mold. This mold has been custom made for me by the folks over at Workshop Heritage. They are fantastic. I absolutely love their company. They have silicone liners for their wooden molds. It's perfect. It's exactly what people who make the types of soap that I make need. Before I got their molds, I was having to line all of my molds with freezer paper every single time because I need those clean edges. Some people can line their molds with something as simple as a trash bag because they have a more rustic appearance to their bars, but I have very clean and tidy bars, so I was having to line all of those molds and it was taking forever. So this was such a significant upgrade. So wooden molds with silicone liners are going to be more expensive than, say, like a silicone loaf mold or even just an empty wooden mold with no liner. Obviously, it's one of the more expensive options, but when you take into account how much time you're saving, it's not actually expensive at all. It's a very, very, very good deal because in business, time is money. Now, not with the rest of your life, but in business, time is money. And not having to line a mold every single time we make soap and are filling up tons of these molds every day, man, totally worth the investment. I'm not necessarily affiliated with them. They did give me some of the molds for free, but since then I have purchased many from them at full price. So I don't have a coupon code or anything down below. I just wanted to throw that out there because they're really great people, and a lot of you guys have been asking me about these molds recently. I have to let this sit up before I can do much of anything else to basically any of the rest of the soap. So I'm gonna let this sit about 5 minutes or so. In the meantime, I'm gonna rinse out any of my containers that need to be rinsed, like my lye container and my stick blender. Okay, so this layer has set up a good deal. You can see when I move it from back and forth, it's not sloshing all around. That's what I'm looking for. And now I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to give texture to the top. My goal here is to create a lumpy sort of surface without any peaks. I don't want any sharpness to it. Some of that will probably be unavoidable, but I am not purposefully creating peaks on the surface. Okay, so now that this first layer is done, we can work on the next one. So for this next layer, I have one of my white pitchers, and I also have a little clear pitcher here. Just gonna scrape down the sides of this little bucket because I don't want any of the soap to not get incorporated into the color. Wow.
What a crime.
That was not one of my finer moments. Pretend like that didn't happen. Y'all didn't see anything. Into this large container, I am pouring my first color, and I will be adding a secondary color. To this pitcher, I'll be adding my second color. It also has its own secondary color here. And finally, we have my third color. The one I am the most concerned about is this one. So I'm gonna blend this first and see if I need to add anything to it. Well, that actually looks really close to what I wanted, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. There's color number 2, so now to mix up the final color. Just gonna add in all of my fragrance oil now, and I'm going to very quickly blend in this fragrance. Okay, so now for the swirl. I'm gonna start by pouring this second color right here on the side, and again on this side. And I'm not going to scrape out the container because, well, I'll scrape it out a little bit, but I'm still going to leave about half of it in there so that I can do a little bit. You know what? I'm changing my mind just now as I'm doing it. I'm going to scrape the whole container in. And now I'm going to pour about half of this second color in on the top. And I know because I have allowed this soap to get thick, it's not going to penetrate all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to pour this top part first and then mix in some more of that third color. Before I start pouring, let's watch this quick commercial break. All right, this is coming out just right. Gonna pour some down here a little bit. There's not too much color modeling, which is perfect because that was definitely something I was trying to avoid. And once I get a little bit of all the colors in all the bars, like I can see I'm doing now, I'm just gonna start taking bigger passes around. A lot of that third color is already in, so I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna add some more of it to this big bucket. Right, and I can start again. Get all that in there. All right. Now that all the soap is in, I'm going to tap it down to get rid of all the air bubbles. Okay, and now I'm going to texture this top layer, which is great because this is like the perfect consistency for the texture that I wanted. I can already tell that these colors are going to have to be changed a little bit. It's not exactly what I wanted. Some of the colors are a little bit too dark and I wanted them to be a lot more pastel. So I know I'm going to change that, but this is the very first time I've tried to make this soap and that I've tried this color blend. So I'm really not affected by that at all. That type of thing happens a lot. And you guys always get to see the first batch. And I typically do that. That way, if something like this happens and I decide to change it, you guys are not under the impression that I do things right every single time. I have been making soap for a very long time, but I am by no means perfect, and I still sometimes misjudge how much color a soap is going to need or how a fragrance oil is going to react. Before I add the final touch, I'm going to spritz the top with rubbing alcohol. This is just to help prevent soda ash, and then I'm going to take a little bit of something and just sprinkle it across the top like so. Just like this. not a whole lot. That guy got quite a bit, and so did he right there. But I'm just sprinkling this on a popsicle stick across the top. It is not a super specific process. In fact, there's going to be some bars that have way more than others. That's completely fine. The end result of what I want is very much being achieved. I'm also doing this with a popsicle stick because it changes the way that the substance I am dropping will shape on top of the soap. If I say used a tea strainer like I did with Secret Soap number 1, that would change the appearance. And now that I've done some down the middle, I'm gonna take a teeny tiny bit down the sides. I am gonna aim for a teeny tiny bit on this particular part. I will tell you this, my goal is for the top to get stained. All right, this soap is complete. And before I leave, I'm gonna spritz the top of this with a little bit of something shimmery. Not a lot, mind you, just a little bit. And that's it, friends. We're done with Secret Soap number 3. And this is what the soap looks like up close. As you can see, it sort of has, I would say, like a bit of an modern art sort of look to it. Those colors are very outside of my comfort zone. I do not normally take this big a risk with the soap, but I think given the theme and this particular soap's inspiration, it is going to line up marvelously. So I'm gonna let this sit in the mold for 18 to 24 hours. I'll put a lid on it and I won't move it. It will just sit here on the table for 18 to 24 hours, and then I'll come back, I'll take the lid off, we'll split the slab into loaves and cut the loaves into bars after this quick commercial break. So this soap smells really, really good. I'm not 100% pleased with the colors. They need to be lighter. I will probably half the color load because, yeah, it just shouldn't be that bright. But even so, this is a very unusual color palette for me. I do not typically put stuff like this together. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of pleased. I kind of like that it's so weird. Okay, so let's go ahead and just cut this real quick. I'm gonna push down. So musical, Evangeline. And this is what the soap looks like on the inside. These colors and this soap look really cool by themselves, but a surprise, my friends. There is a stamp that accompanies this soap. That's right, a wee stamp. Gosh, it really does smell so good though. The top and the bottom layer look exactly how I wanted them to. Okay, let me remove these bars and we'll get to stamping. Like seriously, where is it? I just had it. Aha! Here it is. Look at my little soap stamp. So I'm gonna take a bar of soap, like so. This little bit of powder here, I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. Knock off any excess, and then place it right on the bar, pressing down gently, and then removing it. And this is what the soap looks like after it has been stamped. Honestly, this is one of my favorite stamps I've ever done. Let us stamp some more. Is this what you were expecting for the design, or has it completely thrown you off guard? You'll have to let me know down in the comments below if the stamp was like, whoa, unexpected, out of left field, not what I thought she was gonna do, or if you're like, yep, makes sense, makes sense. I'm thrilled to death with how these have turned out. Okay guys, be sure to leave your guesses down in the comments below. Did this soap completely throw you off? Were you like, oh yeah, I know what the theme is, and then you saw this and you're like, I have no idea what the theme is. Be sure to follow me over on TikTok for some TikToks and on Instagram for some photos and polls and stuff. I'm going to be doing some giveaways in the coming weeks, and I'm going to be doing giveaways specifically over on those two platforms. So you're going to want to be there if you want some free soap. I hope you guys have an absolutely smashing day today. Be sure you do something fun for yourself, like hanging out with your favorite bird, or listening to a train at night and imagining that you are an old lady sitting on a train in the 1800s going to visit her daughter in the West. I don't know where that came from. That's just what I thought of first. I don't care what you do. Just be sure you do something fun for yourself today. If you want this bar of soap, it will be available on September 5th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time with the rest of the Secret Soap Series collection, some limited edition soaps, shampoo, conditioner bars, all that other stuff that I sell over there. And until next time, I hope you have an absolutely royal day, and bye for now. Meow.